Hey guys, Carson here with the Rip Ranch. It's a little bit here in the afternoon. Usually I'm catching up with you in the morning, but I'm here in the afternoon. So let me show you what I got going on. Just feeding heifers and doing cows. I just got back late last night from Dallas. I was at the American Pasture Poultry Producers Association, or of America or something. And it was great. So it was super cold the week before this and our last video, and we had a bunch of new arrivals to the ranch. So I want to kind of show you what we got for calves. Then I also want to show you, tell you what we do to prepare to calve when it's cold. First, I'm going to feed some small bales, these replacement. Okay, fed these. Gonna take one to these other cows now. So if you have never watched the channel before, I will tell you why we calve at the wrong time of year, and I am not making excuses for it. Just don't know a good way around it, and that is because we run on public land in the summer, and we go up in May. If our cows aren't bred up, a lot of people don't take bulls, and there's a good chance they won't get bred up. We won't know what they're bred to. So anyways, that's why we calve in the winter. And we've been calving, we moved our calving date. Sorry, these cars are going by like crazy. Been moving the calving date back the last year. It's been great. Sorry, I'm doing chores and walking, but so we've been moving our calving date back, but still are calving in winter. So well, these cows are dry. Let's kind of look what we got for calves. So if you remember that cow that was sore when we gathered the corn stalks, she just had a calf yesterday. And I'm going to tell you, it's out of Great Plains, just to bug the guy who comments so much about how I say things. It's out of Great Plains, OCC, Great Plains. It's the first bull calf of the year, huh? Good little bull calf. And then if you look out here, I think we have 8 other calves. We had a set of twins, and only one was born alive this week too. But I'm gonna get them watered, and as we're feeding them, I'll kind of tell you what we do to prepare for cold weather calving. So if your mineral ever gets hard in your tub or your salt gets wet, they'll eat it still. I just break up the hard pan on it. I literally have it in a bathtub. Trashy out. So now my dad's showing up to feed Bell. He's a one-armed bandito. With he had shoulder surgery. So we're gonna go feed, and this is actually gonna be our first key to calving when it's cold. He was perfect, and he decided he needed to fix it. You had it perfect till you backed up.
Did I?
Yeah, you were perfect. Okay, I'll go open the gate. Remember that calf in the last video that was really struggling? That's it, and it's doing great. So, it's doing really good. You can see we're starting to get a bunch of little ones. Okay, I'll get this bell cut and we'll unroll, and then I'll explain why feeding's a big part of calving when it's cold. So there's that twin that lived. The other one didn't make it. Here's that little calf, little heifer calf. So we have mostly heifers. So why feeding's important is there's really cool research showing that if you feed at night, your cows will calve in the daytime more often. And so for us, where we're calving in the cold time of year, we prefer the calves to be born in the daytime instead of in the night, because it gets really a lot colder in the night. So we feed in the evenings so they calve during the day. You might not think that's true, but so far every single calf we have has been born in the day, and that is because we feed at night. If you feed in the mornings, you will have calves in the evening or early morning. We have most of our calves in the day, usually about noon, a little later sometimes. But that's key. That's one of the first keys, is if you can control when you're feeding, feed in the evening. It's really going to help you have more calves. And if you don't believe me, there's a study by Kansas State University that shows this research. Hole 997 here, she's going to be real soon. 1048 is going to be really close. A bunch of them are getting really close again. Some more. That's a cow that calved just recently. She's doing really good. That's one of the big ones. All these new little calves, gotta love it. Also a brand new calf. Another thing that really helps if you're calving in the cold, and this helps anytime, but I really love it when it's cold. I think it's even more important, is buy bulls that are calving-ease, because it's so much better when the calf has not gone through trauma to get up and suck when it's cold. Because the most important thing for a cold calf is mother's milk. If they get up and nurse, they'll be fine. If they don't, that's when they have problems. So we kept this cow in. This is the one that had the hurt leg when we gathered them, and she's just not. I thought maybe we watched her up here, we could figure out what's wrong. Just no luck so far. If you want to stand on the other side of the trough, right there, we're going to just put her out now that she's got that calf. Okay, yeah. Okay, so she's out. That's probably enough water for him for a month. So back to that, along with calving-ease as a way to make it so your calving goes better if it's cold. The other thing is good mother cows. If your cow is not a good mother, it's not going to lick your calf and get it going, start licking it, get the energy up in it, you're going to have a lot of trouble in the winter. So you can't just have any old cow. You got to have a good mother cow to get them up and going, or you'll run into some problems. I think the other thing you need is probably a good place if you get cold to get warm. So that's why we built this little shed. keeps the wind off them and keeps them dry. So this is kind of our resort if we have something that's got cold and we're trying to warm it up. But we also can put some heat lamps. You know, we got power and light, so we can put some heat lamps, heat it up if it gets real cold. So those are some of the keys. The other one is you got to make sure you have stuff on hand. You got to make sure you have some colostrum or some electrolyte, just because, like I said, with the calf getting up and nursing, the worst thing that could happen is you could have a calf that gets no milk, and then it gets down on its energy. That's when they get cold and start having problems, and then you can't even hardly warm them back up. You have a lot of issues. But you could see that little 316 calf of ours, it got real cold, mostly because it was born on a real cold day in the wrong spot by a heifer that didn't know what she was doing. And it took 2 days to get it up and going. So you just got to be prepared if you're calving this time of year. And that's why I'd tell you, I don't recommend calving this time of year. If I lived somewhere else where people had more private pasture and could be on their own private place all the time, which Utah is not one of those places, in most places in Utah, I would probably calve April, May, so that I was more in sync with nature, less problems with calving. But we all know sometimes things happen. Sometimes you might have a family milk cow that's just when you want it to come into heat. Or you have, like me, and you have wrong situation where it just kind of forces you to calve in the wrong time of year. So those are the kind of the keys we do for calving. And the crazy thing is this time of year, our days are slow enough. It's kind of crazy that it's hard to make a video in a day, because within that, I just did our evening chores in 20 minutes. And so that's pretty quick, pretty nice. I know not people have a lot more cows, so it takes longer, but right now we're feeding a bale, feed the heifers, the replacement heifers early in the morning. And then, but next week we'll be getting our commercial cows off corn stalks. So that'll add some, but I think what we're gonna be doing is bale grazing. So it's mostly gonna be checking on those. So it'll pick up a little bit, but this time of year, winters used to be really, really stressful. We've kind of changed our management. It's become so much less stressful. It's just getting a couple things fed. That bale bed on our truck has really helped also. Well, now we just talked to my dad. The pasture we got to patch a hole in a pasture next to us. I just talked to my dad. We're gonna go patch a hole in a fence, not on our property, but next to us. Once in a while we get a heifer through the awful fence that's between where our heifers are and the neighbors. And I've put in 1,000 T-posts. It's just an old fence. It needs to be replaced, but the neighbor needs to help out with it if we're gonna replace it. So we're just gonna go fix this hole, so if they get in there, they don't get out on the road. And we'll drive over to Glenwood. So it's like a 5-minute drive. My dad went to get a little thing so we could patch that fence up. And we'll go from there. So while I'm driving, don't judge, don't call the cops on me. I'm paying attention, looking straight forward, not at you guys. So while I'm driving, I had a couple things I wanted to ask. So one thing is, I went to that pasture poultry deal in Texas, and it was really, really interesting. Made me think, I've raised meat birds, but I want to do some more on building me a chicken tractor. So if any of you have good videos or good blueprints for a chicken tractor to raise like 25 broilers, maybe 50, probably 25 broilers at a time that I could drag and my wife could help me with, will you send me a comment with information on how to find that? So small chicken tractor, very interested in that. The other thing is, I would love to raise more chickens. I hate butchering chickens. I don't mind raising meat birds, but I hate butchering them. So I don't know if there is a processor that'll butcher chickens in Utah. If there is, also, and you know about it, Someone thought I was waving at them when I was talking with my hands. But if you do, there is, and you know about it, please leave a comment telling me where it is that butchers chickens. That would be awesome. I would love that. So that was cool though. The reason why I think there would be just such some like, for instance, up at dash strips where we have such poor soil, I think putting chickens on certain places would be really beneficial. And it would also give me a way to have some good clean chicken. I buy some from Everest Acres, and maybe she'll be raising more this year. Last year she had a baby, so she didn't raise a lot, so I didn't want to bug her about buying some. But if you haven't followed Everest Acres on YouTube or subscribe, go follow her. She's just down the road. That's who I buy my raw milk from. She's really fun, really cool, and so go follow her. And but yeah, rambling, but I think chickens might be something I'm going to be doing this next year. So please send me videos or something about good chicken tractors that someone with zero ability to make things could build. So like, think of the least handy person you know, and then that's the kind of plans I need, because I'm not very handy. So please send those over to me. Also, while I'm driving out there, I see my dad in front of me, but I just wanted to tell a couple people, and this is not exclusive, I just thought maybe I'd do this every once in a while. I just wanted to give a shout out to some people who just leave really amazing comments on my videos that make me super happy. And when I'm not feeling like making a video, I think about these comments. It actually makes me want to make a video. One of them is Jacqueline Alley. She's from Virginia. She has such great comments. I love to go back and forth with her about her farm, what she's doing out there. And then Kathy, who always leaves such sweet comments. And then Space Force. I don't know his real name, but Space Force. He always leaves super cool comments. I know that I hope that doesn't embarrass any of you guys, but I just wanted to say thank you so much, because sometimes making YouTube videos can get to be a drag, especially with some of the comments you get from really fun people. But otherwise, I just wanted to say thank you for the nice people who say nice things, because it's really nice to hear from you guys. So thank you. Keep it up, please. Now we'll get back to fixing the fence, and I'll stop rambling on. Cool, so we're here fixing okay. We need another wire. Is that, oh, we could probably
are gonna need a barb or something.
Here, I'll grab that. So this is what you call a scarecrow. Here's a barb. Not enough though. Maybe it is. No, it's not. But that'll scare.
Reach that, we could at least run it along that bottom right there.
Oh, I think it will, huh?
And then if we got another one.
Will it reach?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, just need one more now, huh? Okay, double down on our scarecrow here. And do another one? Yeah, we'll get us a barb and put on top.
I think I've got some at the house.
Okay, got her done. Here's a barb. Isn't that?
Yeah, I don't think you need that.
Climb up there and cut it. Geez, who says you can't make silk out of a sow's ear? Beautiful fence here. But not our fence, so we're just gonna Patch it enough that a cow won't go through it, unless it really wants to.
That ought to do her.
Yep. Say hi to the heifers. Well, guys, that was a short video, but I think it was important to, just in case anyone's calving. The one thing I left out, the reason why we calve these registered seed stock calves a little earlier, is because we want age on the bulls when we sell them. So we want them to be at least a year old. So just a couple things coming up on the agenda for the next little bit. We got to get our other cows out of corn stalks, and that'll be with our friend Chad. And then we'll also need to be testing bulls, which will be a lot of fun. So that's coming right up. Again, I appreciate you all. And so, hey, and before I go, I want you guys to know, I asked you guys about that net gator thing that I was wearing, and I asked if it was women's clothing. Not one of you guys answered me. So I haven't wore it since because I've been so insecure. Just kidding. No, I have wore it many a time, but it's warmed up today, so I don't need to. But just want to say thanks for watching The Rip Ranch.